Okay, and we're all ready. We have a form. Brilliant. Sorry. Well done. Off you go.
Okay. Yeah. So we're team Totally Spies.
Totally Spies.
And two different web pages of two different photographers. And the reason why we chose two artists with the same profession is that we thought it would be more interesting, as well as it would be more, what should I say? Yeah. It's good to see the differences between the websites. Yeah. And the first artist we're going to talk about is
Rodrigo Flaneur.
Yeah, Rodrigo Flaneur. Yeah, something. Which is a Welsh photographer.
Irish.
Sorry. As well as Barry's neighbor. That's right. So the first thing that appears when you're searching his webpage is the gallery and not the main page. And that's kind of confusing because you want to enter the main page before the gallery. And yeah, there are different names listed up on top, which isn't really described or explained. So you don't really know who the web page belongs to. And yeah, but after exploring the web page, we found out that it's a clan web page. And Padraig is actually a part of this clan, and that's why he has his name there and his website. Another thing is that if you want to open another page, another window is open as well. And that's kind of annoying because you want to stay at that main page. You don't want hundreds of windows to open. So that's an annoying thing. And yeah, as well as the web page doesn't always follow the 3-click rule. So yeah, the links are working, but it's not easy to navigate on the web page.
So, if you want to go to Padraig's personal page, you have to click on gallery. I mean, I don't know if it's a good idea, but we have to. So, this is his personal page. You can see in the middle that there are some personal information. We think that maybe the font is the size is too small. And also maybe it's needed more blank space on the sides in order to keep it more spacious and tidy. And below you can see that there are so many pictures, but if you click on them, the pictures are in bad qualities and also small, so you can't really understand what the picture is about. And maybe with some sentences as descriptions for the pictures could be useful. Yes.
Yeah, well, in general, we think that this web page is really messy. It's difficult to navigate. It doesn't work, like the work is not well chosen, and it's confusing and not visually appealing. And yeah, we think that to make this this web page is not put a lot of effort. I mean, it doesn't look like the finished work. It looks more like few proofs before the finished work. So yeah, and yeah, we think that with this web page, it's not like his real job, more like a hobby, because he wouldn't get a lot of. Yeah. Well, the next photographer we chose is Steve McCurry, and you will know him because of the Afghan girl. This picture with the
nice.
Yeah, and he has a clean, retro, and international style to his web page, and it's easy to get an insight of his work because of the slideshow on the main page. So the colors in his photo matches the colors of the fonts, which works well overall in the web page. And it's easy to navigate on the page by using the menu button in the top of the web page. So we think he has a clear aim behind this web page, and that is to get more audience, to promote, to communicate, and to sell. So clearly he has his own brand, and we can easily get an insight into his business.
So in this page, if you want to navigate and see his works, it's easier than the other one, because there are so many filters that you can use. For example, places, themes, so you can navigate in different groups of photos. And also you can see here that you can see the photos as a single photo or grid, or you can go to info, and there are so many thoughts that the photographer wrote about his works, so maybe it's easier to understand his works. And this is what Rudy was talking about. So there are so many links, and you will remain in the same page. And also we think that the connection with the Facebook and Instagram could be easier to keep in touch with his works and with the photographer.
Yeah, well, in general, to keep up with his work, with his latest work, you can see like the exhibition and the news and what is he doing right now. But to say like a bad thing, you can find the CV in the webpage, and even though he's famous, we could maybe know what he developed and how was his work before and how it's changed with the years.
So you're saying there isn't a CV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be good if
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
So this is our presentation, and we have 2 questions.
Excellent. 2 questions, people. Switch on your ears.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you think we get a clear insight into their business?
Raise your hand if you...
Second one was pretty clear because I knew him, but the first guy I kind of forgot what he was about, what he did.
I'm the same, I can't really remember. He was also a photographer, or she.
Oh yeah, they were both.
He. Is that
Yeah,
he?
because it was such a confusion with the website.
Yes.
But the same artistic field, yeah. You mentioned that too. Yes, yes.
Anyone else? Do we get... Why do we think so we were all in agreement that Pádraig Flanúra's website is a hot mess, yeah? So why don't we get an insight into his business? What do we not really see on his website?
His actual work.
What he does. He's actually a landscape and portrait photographer, but the images were so hard to see, and and putting all that kind of clan information and stuff. And I know because I'm culturally positioned to know why he's done that.
Okay.
And I can tell you.
But he's famous.
He's one of the most well-known of an older generation. He would be one of the best-known photographers of a certain type in Ireland. He wouldn't be in he'd have galleries, but they'd be small local galleries in local towns and villages. He's got a couple of books that he's published, but he's an Irish speaker. So his name is Patrick Flannery, but he branded himself in the 80s as Pádraig Flanúra because the country was going through this kind of Celtic revival, and huge value was placed on native speakers. So he actually... Do you want to know how much he paid for that website? €700 to get that website made, but it was made about 15 years ago, and he's never updated it. So with the other one, why do you think... So what's the business? What is the business of the second person? What is their business? Sorry? Documentary photography. And how can you make that... How did you draw that conclusion? What was that site... What did that site do that Pádraig's didn't do? It showed the work. It clearly showed the work, but it also had, as you said, one of you said, loads of information about the images. But it showed the images together, so you saw it as a body of work, as well as seeing individual images. So again, knowing when to present work as a group of 8 images, and when to present one image separately, is a key skill. When you're putting your websites together for this module, you're going to have to make these decisions. And some of you will find yourself making the Padraig O'Flanour of a decision. And you'll put it up there and you'll go, that looks like Patrick Flannery's. I'm going to change it and fix it. So I think one of the things that you said that was really simple was he had the text right out to the edges. And we recognise that that's really bad. What could you do in Weebly to make sure that doesn't happen?
Use spacers.
Just use your spacers and just push the text in. So these are really, really simple. Sorry, do you want to ask the next question?
Yeah.
Well done.
Are they paying the rent and feeding their children thanks to this website? What do you think?
Hands up. Yeah?
I think necessarily, of course, because he has like a unique style of doing his work, and he really takes like the colors out really well. They're like really catchy. And because of the other person, you cannot really understand what he's trying to say. Nobody will buy stuff like modern, like people who are using the internet, but maybe not some people.
What about Padraig? Again, I can give you some insight, but what do you think?
Well, I think it's a trick question.
Do you?
I think he is.
Go on, answer for the crack.
Yeah, maybe. Like half-half.
Padraig is not poor. He's got a lot of money, but he gets it through things like grant applications because he's promoting the Irish language in his work, and he's a very touristy. A lot of tourists buy his work. There's a Grand Central Station in New York has some photographs of his because he's seen as this kind of Celtic Irish photographer, and this is going back 30 years. So actually, the other photographer, you could say, has an international reputation as an artist. Padraig also has an international reputation, but producing kind of postcard art. So he's actually very successful.
But you know that because you know him. I mean, if we analyze the website, we don't get that.
And also, he has a reputation that he built in the 70s and 80s, which he now no longer is enjoying the same level of success. And I would say his website's part of that. But he's also in probably his early 70s now, So he's as I said, he's not poor. Anyone else have any comments to make? I think we need one or two questions as well. So, do we have a question we want to ask? Come on, guys. Anything?
Wow.
I know it's hard, but. What was the hardest bit of putting the presentation together? What did you struggle with?
Personally, I didn't know how to show the many parts of the site because there are so many things to say, but obviously you have to choose something. And it's difficult to choose also the same things for both the sides because you have to compare.
Yeah.
So that's, I think.
So your strategy was really good, though. Do we agree? Yeah. I like the way you presented it. And again, it would have been difficult to have done that on the website, but that you could have found a way to do it. To have, you might have had those nice transitions, but it doesn't matter. We would have seen the same thing. So I think the strategy was sound.
Yeah, we tried to put in with the but as we have the animation.
Yeah.
It was not working, the animation. So we thought that maybe the animation could make easier to follow our presentation.
Yeah, but I'll show you after today how to get the file up on Weebly as well. But I think we should put the individual plates as well, just so that it's,
Okay.
Brilliant. I think a big round of applause for Totally Spies. Woo! Woo! Well done, Totally Spies. Okay, so who's next? Who's ready to go next?